What up, kids? We're going straight in today, straight in. All right, hello, welcome back to the stream. My name is John Bartman. I make music templates usually. Today working on this commission job, as I have been for the past couple of days. If you're new to the channel, check out the link in the description for the free download of my template packs, helping music producers get into it real easy and without all the hassles of missing VSTs and samples. So a really good way to learn music. So yeah, check out the link, and you can also help support my work if you want. Become a patron. Also the link in the description. Dudes and dudettes, we're not doing the 90s today, I'm sorry to say, but I'm also very happy to say, because we are doing this. Something like it. Right now, I am working on the brass sound. Which is this patch on the right that you see, Forzo. I acquired this patch. It's a beast of a brass patch, an orchestral brass patch, contact instrument. And yeah, I got it as kind of part payment for a theatre job backing track that I did. I haven't used it enough, but now I'm starting to get into it and it's rad, and I plan to use it. It's got a very up-to-date modern sound and it's very cool. I plan to use it for this game that I'm writing the music for, and this specific character that we're currently working on is called Victor Belmont, who is a bit of a vampiric character, a bit of a Severus Snape character, and yeah, the job now is to convey that musically. So quite pompous, quite orchestral. My problem, these strings are not sounding as they should, so let's pick up a little bit on the string side of things right now. Today what I'm going to be doing is working through this file. I'll probably get through it today because I'm pretty much at the end of it, and then send a demo to client, his name's David, and see what he thinks of the whole thing. If you're new to the stream, what I do is generally just get on with my work, but I explain and justify every little decision that I make. With regards to the composition side of things. I'm making orchestral music today, but you might notice from my channel that I predominantly do whatever's in demand. But my home turf is sort of 90s sitcom music. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, let's start with some legato. We're still in the staccato mode. Let's just mute that like the last time. Okay, let's just try and get that out onto 1 and 2. Yeah, okay, so on onto the third beat of the bar, and not forgetting that because we want it to be a legato sound, we now have to make our way north in this huge MIDI roll and make sure that we change the legato to the staccato to a legato sound. I'm going to do that like that. Switch here. That's pizzicato, which we don't want. What we want is C6. I think C6 is the keystroke, the key, and it's all in the 7s. Sorry, I'm failing here. Failing hard. Failing hard, kids. Failing hard. Right, it's F6 because we're on the group patch. Okay, now we go back to the beginning. Now it has failed to start out staccato because I've got to set the key switch to be staccato, which I think is no, spiccato, B7. Bum 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 bum. I'm enjoying doing these streams. It's been 2 weeks straight, and I'm starting to see spikes in my traffic and people commenting. So if you're hanging around today or you get this later, do leave a comment. I do love to. Okay, that sounds a little unnatural. Of course it does. Let's try just masking it with the rest of the mix. That's cool. Here comes the legato at the end, this long note. Okay, good. I like it, except it's just a bit too hot on the velocity side of things. So let's take that velocity way down, and we're going to do that like this. Good. Reset the mark, the staccato sound, and pitch forward. Here we go. Okay. Still a bit warm, but I think we'll be okay. Well, maybe what I can do is just drop the mod wheel. The mod wheel stuff I'm going to get to later. Now, David has mentioned that he does want this to be a modern sounding piece. I suggested giving it like a MIDI's 90 MIDI score sound, and like old school games in Donkey Kong, that kind of thing. And it was now, we want it to be orchestral. We want it to sound a little bit like a modern production, but without the, but yeah, obviously I'm limited by this gear. This is the string ensemble patch that I use. I'm not going to go through all of the modulation stuff now. What I'm doing now is bending this modulation wheel, which controls the expression, whether or not it's a dynamically diverse sound or not. And what that means is the difference between louds and softs is known as dynamics. So with a high expression value, you're going to get very quiet and very loud. So it's like an amplifier. Let's try this again from the top. Oops, here we go. Just a little bit. You can hear how much quieter it is now. That's quite nice. It's a bit softer. Why is the mod wheel pitching back so much? Oh, she's cranked it up there. Let's try again. That's better, yeah. Okay, piano we'll get to now. One thing I've neglected to do is I have neglected to duplicate this note here, which I can also just do. It's got to be halfway through this passage. What we want is the same effect, which is a legato note coming through with after all the staccatos. Din 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 do. This note specifically over here. So let's get that guy stretched out, drop the velocity a little bit, and make sure that the timing is going to coincide with the key switch, which is here, and then switch it back to the staccato, which I think is spiccato, sorry, which is right over there. Oops. Right over there. So this should work nicely. Let's hear it again. Strings on their own. Now we should hear a legato note coming up here. There we go. Then back to staccato. That's what we want. Nice little key switch. Just sounds like a little bit like a ship, like a Hans Zimmer coming through there. That's what we want, just a little bit of nuance. Okay, fine. Modulation stuff aside, I think this is pretty much good enough for a demo, so I am going to give it a bounce and chat to you about some stuff while I do that, and then we can move on to the next track, which is, well, I'll involve you in the process of figuring out what it is. We've got a shared whiteboard. Haven't got any wins in this piece, huh? Okay, so I consider that to be a good demo, a little bit scrappy because it's not mixed, but like I said, you don't do the whole job and then send it to client, because client might say, new direction, and then you're entitled, or you're obliged to find a complete redo. So this, my reverse date naming format means that this is going to be 1107, T31107, Victor Belmont. And I will just mute the feed while I bounce this. Okay, and there comes the bounce. Good. All right, so that should be that, and that gives us the freedom now to move on to the next character. I'm going to involve you in this next character by showing you, dun dun, behind the scenes, what is going on here. All right, I've restructured this as our shared whiteboard, and I'm firstly just going to make it a blackboard because I prefer blackboard, if I can do that. Can I do that? No. Dark Reader is a great Chrome plugin extension that allows you to darkify any website, but it looks like Miro has got other plans. So what we're doing here is I'm going to come back to Anna. She's the most important and she needs the most work. Ingrid, I've got a kind of thumbs up. Cardigan, I've submitted for review. Belmont, I've kind of just about done that now. Bast is out the way. Harry Renfrew is out the way. Alex Marwood is the new character. So there's some information on what he is about somewhere around here. There it is. Perfect. So let's just get that where it belongs, right up there. Okay. Alex Marwood. Now, it's literally like the first time I'm reading this. Once a promising young English actor, Alex Marwood's career unfortunately never materialized. To support his decadent lifestyle and bad habits, he took on increasingly dubious jobs. His androgynous, delicate appearance and extensive thespian training makes him a master of disguise. His stock character function is as the henchman. Personality often tweaked or drunk, dual personality, impulsive, clumsy, resulting in him always running into trouble. Once settled, is reflective, ruminates, quotes Shakespeare. Good. So I get a handle on this character. In traditional storytelling, there's a role called the gatekeeper or the henchman. Yeah, there's very much these people that stand at the threshold of one world and another. This is a bit deep maybe, but something between that and, you know, a dandy, perhaps. Let's see, similar roles. Yeah, I'm going to give this some thought, but I get a sense of where to go with this now. I don't have any direct references, so I haven't actually received any YouTube links that would give me a handle on the exact musical direction to go in. He's kind of missing from that list over there. He's a new character, you see, he's new to the game makers themselves, so they're going to have to give me a bit of a heads up, I think. Okay, and I think we've got all that stuff, but we'll figure this out. I've got to do some categorization when things aren't in the right place. Cool, but let's see. So we turn to our main stories, the ones that we are currently, the most popular stories today, Harry Potter, that kind of thing, Lord of the Rings. And we try and find similar characters in Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. I like the way that, a lot of these characters are neither clearly good or bad. They perform multiple roles because this is a murder mystery and we don't know who's good and who's bad. So what we're trying to convey here is duplicitousness. Okay, we're trying to convey he's neither male nor female. He's got the ability to disguise himself, so quite clearly someone who has got a multiplicitous nature. Also seems to be on the darker side. So if we were talking about the character roles here, this might be like somewhere maybe like chaos, maybe like chaos neutral, I think, maybe, or chaos bad actually. Okay, so let's figure out where we're going to go with this. First steps, when I take on a new project like this, I create a save project as, and I create a completely new project. So name this one Alex Marwood. I love this part of the process where you just kind of you're starting out something like, blank slate. Let's give it a bash. And immediately I start thinking, okay, because duplicitousness means we're not firmly rooted in one key. This is not a major or a minor character. We have the elements of both. So you're able to bring major and minor together in a way. So I'm going to go for that, using major and minor to convey that. And I'm also going to err on the side of feminine instruments, because although it is a male character, I want the lightness and the delicateness of the character to be conveyed. So we're talking about high wind instruments like flute and piccolo. They're traditionally female. Violin, the higher, the more female. Whereas the bass and the power and the drums are generally associated with masculinity. So we've got a general idea of where we're going with this. What I would traditionally do is just listen to a bunch of YouTube. You try and find a character that we can base this character on and see what their leitmotif is. But I don't want to do that on stream, so I'm just going to get on with what I've got in front of me, basically. Alex Marwood, the project has been created. That means I can go ahead and delete all of the MIDI that has been recorded for the previous project. And I'm going to start with just trying to get a feel for which strings to use. So let's pump up the strings. Should have them there. You should be seeing what I'm doing, which is quite cool that I can just share all this stuff with you. Go 2023. We're living the future, kids. This is super rad. Okay. And I've got off screen here, I've actually got the brief on my left, so I can look at it. And often tweaked or drunk, dual personality, androgynous, delicate, disguise, and okay, so kind of like a bit wheedling maybe. Okay, so we can get in there with a diminished chord. No, that's a major 6. No, two major we're going to go with. Maybe just let's take that down. Don't have control there. Take it down. We want to start really gentle. Okay, we got a D. What is that? B minor to a D, an F sharp dim. Let's try that in the highs and see how it works. This is quite more on the side of evil. Okay, nice straight up D major. Okay, so we've got a B minor moving to an F sharp dim. So can modulate to a C sharp minor, to a D dim. Let's try that passage again. So it's B minor. Let's try with a high D to an F sharp dim. And I'm missing a part. So I'm literally just narrating everything I do. I'm composing on the fly right in front of you guys. B minor, F sharp dim. Now we can go to a C sharp minor, to a D dim, and maybe just collapse into a E flat minor. And then 2. Might be a bit too dark, so the approach of evil might be sounded like heralded by this kind of sound. 2, 2, 2. And then we went to a D flat minor, so. And then we go back to the B minor. Thinking almost like adagio for strings, but that's just weepingly sad. It's not really in the character of this guy. So, and I think it might also need to be less like a atmospheric and more rhythmic. It also, generally speaking, does have to be a bit punchy. But most of the other tracks I've written for these characters has been very rhythmic, and it would make a nice change for the sound palette of the game if it wasn't so punchy. So let's try something atmospheric and see what David thinks of that. So can get very far just by, you know, climbing chromatically. Like what I was doing there was just literally climbing chromatically. Okay, I'm a little bit closer. Let's see if we can make this work. We need a theme. We need a melody, not just a collection of chords. 2. No. 1, B minor, 3, 4, F sharp dim. I like that. I like that. So it's B minor, 2, 3, 4, F sharp dim, 2, 3, 4, E minor 7, 2A, E dim. And the ear now wants to resolve 2. It's 2 major. I know this isn't the most fascinating thing to watch, but I am very much getting into a space now, and this is important. It's a missing element of my composition, at least, and I encourage it, if you're a music producer, not to rush things too much. Things, you know, art takes time. Gotta have that kind of faith in yourself. Okay, let's keep going where we were going. So I like this direction. 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3. I'm just gonna turn it up a little bit, make it more easy to hear. Okay. Okay. Try again here. If you're watching along, do leave me a chat. I enjoy figuring out what others are up to while we all share a day together. Okay, let's try a different approach. I'm not feeling like a lot of progress there. We're going to change the patch to something more melodic. This to me sounds more like the trickster that he is, or no, the role that he plays. How about a waltz? Everything so far has been in 4/4. And he is possibly, you know, got a bit of a roots as a dandy, which would probably make him quite a big fan of a waltz type music. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a character who's comedic in any way. There's no real hint about that, like whether or not we should be casting him at any stage of the game as comedic, because if so, that changes the direction entirely. Let's go with something. No. I have a feeling that we should be starting this out on piano, actually. Let's flip over to piano and just change the settings on the piano to something a little... G minor. And we did all the others in G minor. I'm going to change this one. Just keep it in B minor. feel like this is the right direction to go in. A waltz definitely feels right, so we're going to change the time signature to dun dun da 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 dun 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 dun. Oops. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 dun 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 dun. Okay, change this up to 90. 1 2 dun, dun, dun. Waltzes aren't at 90, waltzes are at 140. Dun, dun. Okay, that's not bad. Let's get a couple of those down and make it easy for ourselves. Here we go. 2 bars, repeating, so lock the envelope, and we're going to do also punch in recording starting 1 bar back. Looks like I'm still unfortunately in the other grid mode, 0. Oh, there we go, I see. Okay, we'll start it from there and we'll do something like now, what should the top note be when I'm phrasing, trying to work out which chords to use? That sounds different too. These are 3 inversions of the B minor chord. And the ear tends to gravitate towards the top note, so if you want to prioritize the root, put the B at the top, and prioritize the 3rd, you put the D at the top, and likewise with the F sharp and the 5th. Now I'm trying to already phrase the melody, but let's not overcomplicate, we can always redo. So I'm just going to do a take of this, scratch take with the minor. Okay, let's try that. Oops. Give myself 2 bars intro here and figure this out. Cool. Just kill that. Alright. 2 1 2 3. Okay, good. And then we got a take of that. 4 5 6. Let's do the usual and just give it a little quantize. Oops. Not to 1/4, just to 1/16. And now it's giving us. Oh, we got to do it in triplets. That's right. No, not triplets. Straight. 2 3 4 5 6. And I don't want it to be note. I don't want to change the note ending to be quantized too. Reason being, this punchy sound is going to sound bad if it's legato. In other words, if I played it like this. That's not really what I'm going for. That sounds to me like something you might do later in the track. But let's just go with this for now. Okay, now we can work on maybe where it develops from here. So we got that down. Initial theme, initial feeling. Maybe we go to I think that going to diminished is a good idea. To the thinking now about where to go from here. go. I'm thinking immediately of a change of key, but maybe that's not the best way. Let's just feel it out. Okay, I like this, going from a B minor down to a G minor. Oh, that's interesting, to B flat. So what I did there was do F sharp. This has got a tango feel to it now, like the score to Waking Life. Let's see. Okay, so I like where we're going with this. We're developing it. One more soft, one loud, one soft, and then yes, that flows. That really flows. Okay, maybe picking up the pace a bit is a good idea too. There come these moments where you actually just feel what you're doing, and it's such a relief where you're like, it's going to work, you know. The story's going to work, the music's going to work. Even if it's not right for this character, we can always repurpose it, we can always develop it. Nothing is ever completely lost. So where are we now? We're going to the G, to the A flat, to the... Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so B minor. Chromatic build to that. Well, either way, let's get that down. It's going to be that. Now we are set in this jazz era, so let's see if we can make this story work. I'm currently thinking of the next sentence in the story, but I've got to think further ahead than that. Like, where are we going with this? It's got a waltz feel, but it's also got this chromatic stuff that you hear in tango. So it's a bit exotic, it's a bit hard to place, which is kind of suits the character. It's sort of what we want. Like, what is this person about? There's a bit of shifting. What I don't like about this so far is that we are very much rooted in minors and diminished, which is very much more often like, you know, the bad people in the story. We don't know if he's a bad guy, maybe he's comic, maybe he's the murderer, we don't know. So I'm going to compensate for that by throwing in a major passage, also because major is nice, more uplifting. So after we've done this in the A minor, thinking of going to some kind of like romantic era or baroque sort of etude or something. No, not gonna work. Alright, I might just want to move this over so you can see what I'm doing. Cool. If you just joined in, what I'm doing is creating some music for a 2D point-and-click adventure game. This is the character by the name of Alex Marwood. Details of the game kind of under wraps at the Momo, but yeah, it's a slow cooker and we'll get it out hopefully next year. The channel that you're watching is where I typically create music templates. If you want to know more about that, if you don't know what a music template is, if you're new to music production, this is the place for you. You can drag and drop these packs of Ableton Live projects or Reaper projects straight into your DAW, into your music production software, and you should have no missing files or problems to solve before you can start working on the music. Music's completely copyright free because I made it. The stuff in the pack, the free pack in the description, there are 1 or 2 TV themes. I've done Ghostbusters, Aphex Twin, that kind of thing. Feel free to go and mess around with it and basically get started on music production in an easy way. If you are more interested, you're welcome to join as a patron, my first patron. I will sing your praises forever if you are the one that breaks the ice. And yeah, that's basically all the cool stuff. Premium packs and easy to use music templates for Reaper and Ableton. That's what I do, and I show up here on the streams 2 p.m. UTC on weekdays. So all of that out the way, I'm going to try and just jot down the second sentence of the story I'm trying to tell, the story of Alex Marwood with music. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. It's too velocity sensitive. I need to hammer it. And then I don't really know where to go from there, but it's something nice. We'll do fixes on the velocity stuff. Now we definitely need to change to something else. We're here at this diminished chord, which means that musically we can go to a G major, we can go to G minor, we can also go to a B flat, major or minor. That's the joy of diminished chords. And one last one we can go to is the C sharp. But I think that's a bit of a leap. We can also go to another diminished chord, but that's now taking us into the realm of so yeah. Take it from the previous one. I'm thinking of going to a G to like literally do like this. But then it's like quite a big break from the rest of it. We're going like, you know, very nice, except it's all over the place. So I'm getting lost in the jazzy side of things here. Not too bad. So maybe I do feel that this needs to be sped up. I'm going to now just create the loop that I need to group. The loop to group and speed it up. So I'm taking the BPM from 140 to 170. And then we've got to find a way to get back home, because this is going to turn into a loop. It's got to be 10 to 30 seconds of music that gets looped whenever the character is taken center stage in the story of the game. So what that means is I can't go from this F sharp dim back to B minor because it doesn't make sense musically. If you went from a G dim, you could do it, because that sounds like a nice cadence, you see. But according to the immutable laws of music, which dictate and govern human behavior, that is illegal. So how are we going to get from F sharp dim through a major or perhaps even jazzy passage back to a B minor? How are we going to do that? So we've got a gap to plug here, and I'm going to figure out how to do it right now in real time from scratch in front of an audience of 2 people. Thanks for showing up, guys. Leave us a chat. I'd love to know who you are and what you're doing today, and don't be shy. This sounds like that Miles Davis kind of thing now. Maybe we just hang around on this kind of tonality. Okay, so what if we didn't move on and instead either way, what we want to do is find our way back to the big dominant of the F sharp minor. So if we can find our way back to an F sharp 7, sorry, even F sharp 7 9, that's nice and jazzy, and then we get back to the B minor, which starts the loop again. So working it backwards, the last chord in this missing sequence I'm trying to play is going to be an F sharp diminished, an F sharp major 7. Let's bring up the piano again so you can see what I'm working with. Keep it nice and visual. This might not be the right piano for the job either, but that's fine. We can tweak things as we go. I'm going to close the lid, keep it like. Now it's going to a 5/7, a 5/8. Okay, so where were we? We're on the lid closed, doesn't make sense. That's better. So we were going to go from A minor to the do do do. Maybe we go so the dim, three, 1, 2. Yes, getting to the take 5 type of rhythm. Even though take 5 is in 5/8, 5/4. We're going to do it in 3/4 and 6. Okay, maybe we can make a nice passage out of that. No? Okay, actually I'm still having second thoughts about this. My concern right now is that I'm trying to get from the F sharp back to the B, but I'm stuck on an F sharp dim, and that makes me want to resolve. What happens if we do just play a general F sharp demonic, an F sharp dominant. Do do do. Okay, that's something like that. Something like that is what I'm going for. This is not finished. Let's just hear it out. Maybe we could just what are the other notes? There it is. Maybe too much emphasis on chords, too much emphasis on harmony, but we could actually simplify this a lot. Din, 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 din. Getting a bit lost there. Let's take out some of this reverb, I think. And we're introducing a swing rhythm, which is up until now not been present. We've been in waltz mode. So trying to turn it around too quickly, I think. This has been a bit of a stagnant stream. Normally I cruise through this production process, but for lack of a reference track, I'm struggling a little bit with this one. I might have to just kind of change tack completely. Let's see what we can come up with when we use one of these wind instruments. I'm going to go to the flute. I think it's the highest sound that I have. And we're in the key of B minor. So our top note is going to be the C. Okay, so maybe a bit too high. We're not talking children here, we're talking... Okay. Perhaps just to give this to be able to close it off for the day, I'm going to just use that as the dominant. And then instead of let's add one more chord after this. So we're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that can be okay, we'll make that the end point over there. Unlock the envelope and create that. Now what we want to do is just change the second chord, group them together, change the second chord to the F sharp diminished, from a diminished to a dominant 7. Okay, so we got F sharp, dominant 7 like this. Should work. Do Trying to think about the rhythm here. Dun, dun. That doesn't work, that. Then we have to change the previous melody, the previous harmony of this. So it's going to be... Okay, so how about that? How about that? Change the rhythm of this part to make it fit. Something like that. Okay. And then it doesn't work as a double. How about that? Dun, 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 dun. So this dun 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 waltz thing has got to end for this cadence section. We don't want it to be the same rhythm the whole way through. So just going down chromatically. Okay, so I've hit a wall today. It's been stagnation. Unfortunately, not every day you know, make it. So yeah, well, that's pretty much it for today. So thank you for bearing with me through this whole process. And as you notice, composition isn't just as easy as copy pasting something or importing a loop or anything like that. It takes a bit of work. I'm trying to craft something specific here. That's the difference between composers and AI, I guess. Which is a fun thing to explore. I would like to have more time to do it myself. But anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much. If you are new to the channel or you just joined or whatever, this is where I make music template packs. Today is a little different. It's a commission, but check out the samples in my library. Basically, I've done like 500 pieces of music, and most of them have got links to files that you can download, either the music file itself or a full-on template pack like the Ableton project file or the Reaper project file, all self-contained, easy to use music templates for music producers and people in the same boat as me, maybe just not 20 years down the line like I am. So I'd like to just invite you to download the free stuff and be a part of this. I'm showing up every day, 2 p.m. UTC. Be a part of it. Come chat, say hi, say what up. Let me know what stage of the journey you're at. Let me know how I can improve the whole product and the stream. And if you stopped by today, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It doesn't go unnoticed. I do enjoy chatting with you. So hopefully tomorrow we can make some progress on the stagnant file. I'm going to ask David for a reference, something we could base it on. Always helps. But until then, much appreciated.